In this video we'll show how you can dynamically add panels to a panel navigator. So you can see here we have a simple UX component with the panel navigator, and this panel navigator has 3 panel cards. You can see the indicator at the bottom has 3 dots. So if we go to design view, we'll see here's our panel navigator, and there's the first panel card, the second panel card, and then the third panel card. So what we'd like to do now is use JavaScript to dynamically add a panel to the panel navigator. So we'd like to go and end up with a new panel so that there are a total of 4 panels in the panel navigator. So let's go here and type in a number, and this will indicate the this number will be used in the name of the new panel that's going to be created. So then we'll go ahead now and click the Add Panel button and watch the 3 little dots at the bottom over there. So now we add the new panel. There's now 4 dots here indicating that there are 4 panels in this panel navigator, and we've given focus here to the new panel. So there we go, panel 3, panel 2, panel 1, and then all the way to the end, and there's our new panel. So let's go now and add a second new panel, and then when we hit the Add Panel button, you can see now we're on panel number 2, and there's the first new panel, the second new panel. So now let's go and start removing panels. So we'll go here now and remove panel number 1. We'll click Remove Panel, and now when we go, you can see now the number of dots on the indicator has gone down by 1. And now when we go, we see panel 3, and now we should see panel 2 next. And in fact we do. So the ability to dynamically add and remove panels is very powerful. This button here that does the Add Panel could do an AJAX callback to go get some new content from the server, and then in the response that is sent from the server, we could execute the code that adds the new panel. So let's go now to the JavaScript and see how this was done. So the Add Panel button is just simply calling a JavaScript function here that we've written called addPanel, and similarly for Remove Panel, we're just calling the Remove Panel function. So if we go to the JavaScript here, we can see that the first thing that we're going to do is just read the value that was typed into the panel number field, so that we have a number for the new panel that we're going to add, and if the user types in a blank value, we're just going to alert and then exit the function. So using the ID that was typed into the text box, we're going to create the name of the new panel and also an optional title for the new panel. So in the code that we've shown so far, the title wasn't visible, but later on in the video we'll turn the panel navigator from a carousel into a tab band, and then you'll see how the panel title is used. So the first thing that we do is actually create a new panel card. So we use the a5.panelCard object to create a new panel card. We give it a name. So here's the name of the panel card. The theme is dialog.style. So this is going to be replaced at runtime with iOS or Mo Blue or whatever your style happens to be. And then we specify the type of the panel card. So we specified that this is an HTML panel card, and here is the source, the HTML that's going to be actually displayed in the panel card. So at this point we've defined a new panel card, but we haven't used it anywhere. So now the next thing that we need to do is actually get a pointer to the panel navigator where we're going to add the new panel card. So we use the panel get method, and we specify the name of the panel navigator. So pnav now is a pointer to the panel navigator, and then we then call the panel navigator's addPanel method, specifying the name of the panel, the title of the panel, and then the source of the panel. And you can see the source of the panel here is the new panel card that we defined previously. And then finally we set focus to the panel that was just added by calling the panel navigator's setActivePanel method. So you can see that the code, the JavaScript to actually add the new panel is very simple, and we'll pause now and pick it up in the next video where we discuss the JavaScript that is used to remove the panel. So we're continuing our discussion of dynamic panels, adding and removing them, and now let's take a look at the code that removes the panel. So again, we just get the ID that the user typed into the text box, and if that's blank we just abort. and then from the ID typed into the text box we construct the panel name. We get a pointer to the Panel Navigator, which is the object from which we're trying to remove the panel, and then finally we call the remove panel method of the Panel Navigator, passing in the panel name. So next let's go and see how the panel title is used. So let's go back to controls now and change this Panel Navigator from a carousel to tab band over here, and then let's go over to working preview and let's switch to a bigger mobile device simulator so we can see the actual tab band buttons. So we'll switch to iPad horizontal right now, and we'll just make our screen a little bit bigger, and let's just type in 1 right now and then add a panel. So as soon as we add a panel, you can see that the button name in the tab band was constructed from the title that was entered. The title is optional, so had we not specified the title, the name that appeared here in this button would be the panel name, not the panel title. But the panel title gives you a nice way to create a friendly name for the tab band. So you can see now we've basically got 4 bands in our Panel Navigator. Let's go now and add a second new panel. So there we go, and there's the new panel over there. So you can see how we're basically dynamically adding panels, and they're showing up on the tab band. And if we go, for example, here and remove, say, the first panel that was added, we should see this button disappear from the tab bands, and in fact we do. So the ability to dynamically add and remove panels in a Panel Navigator using JavaScript is extremely powerful and will allow for some very dynamic types of UX components. Thank you very much for watching.